Hi, I'm Kevin.
Hey, I'm Pranita.
And hi, I'm Connie, and we are the U.S. side of Group 6, and we worked with Sarah and Hazirah in Singapore.
So for our project, we focused on H&M, which is a online fashion company. It's pretty global at the moment. It established itself in the United States in 2000, but it's been all over the world. We wanted to focus on it because it deals with e-commerce, which is a huge market at the moment. We found it really interesting how it addressed e-commerce in Singapore and in the United States. And the following information is going to tell you a little bit more about how that worked.
So like Hannah said, H&M is a global e-commerce site with sites all around the world. So because we want to help H&M tailor its websites to markets and different cultures around the world, we set up a survey from phase 1, which asked participants to rate the global and localized versions of the H&M website based on trust, satisfaction, and loyalty. Based on our survey, we found that Americans were more trusting than the Singaporeans of the H&M website, while loyalty between US and Singapore was pretty similar, and however satisfaction, Americans were much less satisfied than the Singaporeans. Based on these survey results, we have the following set of recommendations to address the trust, satisfaction, and loyalty ratings from the survey, and we try to focus mainly on content and functionality instead of appearance, because most participants were very happy with H&M's appearance, but the content and functionality had some issues.
The US localization of the H&M website is heavily focused towards online shopping. Even on the homepage, there are many links that highlight sales going on, as well as deals for free shipping. On the other hand, the Singapore site does not offer the feature of online shopping. This is because the US has nearly 200 H&M stores to choose from, while Singapore only has 5 stores. Instead, Singapore's advertising is more focused on getting people into these real-world stores. Part of this may be due to the differences in buying culture between Western and Eastern. Through studies, it has been shown that people from individualist countries like the US are more likely to impulse buy than those from collectivist societies. While Eastern culture generally utilizes the haggling method to cut prices for consumers, the US emphasizes the concept of product sales and discounts. This difference can be seen through the many advertisements for sales and cheap deals on clothes seen on the US homepage.
What we had in mind for the US site status and recommendations was that since H&M right now is the website is currently acting more as a platform for online purchasing, we thought it would be more appropriate to focus on promotional offers and sales and focusing more on how to effectively go through an online purchase for products on the website, especially because we thought it would be important to consider the Western buying culture, especially since H&M is targeted a lot more towards the younger audience of people who may not generally be able to get to the store. So online purchasing is very important for H&M sales. And so we saw that in the surveys that satisfaction was a very low point, and many people had given it lower scores in general. And so we had 3 points that we just wanted to touch on regarding that. And so mainly that functionality for seeing stock in nearby stores. So I have a little snippet here of this jersey top, quite exciting. And so there is no option for checking if this is available in a store nearby, or even if that item is available in stock at any of the nearby stores or any stores at all. And so that can be really concerning, especially if it takes longer for a product to ship and customers can be dissatisfied in that process. Also, again, going back to this, the circle, the button layout here, they're for colors. It's not very clear on how to see the different colors and see whether, like, how exactly the colors look, especially because the buttons are smaller. It's harder to click on, and it's not really usable for customers. And another thing we thought was really important was that stock updates must be maintained in real time, especially because so many people shop on H&M every day. It's really important to make sure that there's some sort of functionality feature built in so that H&M customers can check to see if certain items are in stock in real time.
So one of the things we wanted to focus on was not only the functionality of the website in the specifics of sort of how it works and the layout of it. We wanted to also talk about the content, which we thought could be updated a little bit in a newer prototype. So we realized that H&M clearly values culturally relevant content, but they don't really reflect that in their website. Specifically, they have a section called H&M Life, which appears to be identical between the multiple versions of the website for different cultures. It looks like this, and it actually has quite a bit of content on it, including photographs and little blurbs. But the blurbs are neither regionally specific nor trending in the country that they're in, nor targeting a specific audience. So not only was it the fact that the H&M Life section was identical across websites, we also realized that the pictures within them were not really engaging the audiences of other societies and other cultures. So we thought that would be best fit by updating the models to represent those societies, such as the collectivist culture of Singapore, having them in groups, and having models that represent the culture in the region in terms of race. Secondly, something that we also noticed was that the content is all sort of based in fashion that's very popular in the West, and we thought that the blurbs could be updated to account for something other than famous stars of the West that it seems to be taking off
Here we have H&M Singapore homepage. In order to become more culturally relevant, we wanted it to reflect the collectivist mentality that most Eastern countries have. And another thing was Singapore has 4 main languages, and consumers should be able to choose which language they want to see when browsing. Here we have the H&M Life page, which is both the same for the Singapore site and the US site. We thought in order for the Singapore site to become more culturally relevant, we would change the representative models so that they represent the actual populations in the region, and also to change the current articles so that they're more representative of the regions and trends that are going on. Okay, so here we have H&M's current site for looking at an item. One of the main issues we saw that was missing was a nearby store button and also an availability button to see what is currently in stock. Another issue we saw was the buttons for the colors is very, very small and also in circle format, which is hard to click on for consumers. So we thought we should increase the button size. Okay, so in conclusion, we recommend H&M to ultimately start focusing their marketing strategy towards more of a localization and culturalization method, and by basically tailoring their sites to their targeted countries. So, for example, in Singapore, they have 4 official languages, but the language that they have on their site is only English. And by offering an actual button that allows them to change the site's language for Singapore would be a great adaptation, and also starting to move away from more global and big icons such as like David Beckham or Madonna or Beyonce, who are all, while globally relevant, do not relate to each country specifically, and start moving towards maybe more nationally famous stars inside each country to garner more loyalty in the brand, so that the people who are currently in the regions can see themselves inside the clothing that they're selling. And customizing each site to their targeted country will also gain a more loyal consumer base and also increase the brand's presence within